Embark on an epic astral adventure through the vastness of our universe. In this episode, we take a tour of the solar system to explore the 9 legendary planets that rotate around the sun. From the sun-scorched surface of Mercury to the mysterious icy reaches of Pluto, we'll discover what makes each of these celestial neighbors unique. While the scientific community currently classifies 8 major planets, we are diving deep into the history and mystery of all 9, including everyone's favorite dwarf planet, Pluto, what's inside, the inner planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, the rocky worlds closest to home, the gas giants, Jupiter and Saturn, the massive kings of the solar system, the ice giants, Uranus and Neptune, the freezing frontiers of deep space, the 9th mystery, exploring Pluto's history and why it's still a beloved part of our cosmic family, learn about translation movement, orbits, and see how gravity keeps our universe in motion. Stay tuned. Follow the latest space discoveries on the official NASA Solar System Exploration page, or learn more about planetary science at the SETI Institute. Video. Absolutely. Let's dive deeper into the latest cosmic events, current mission milestones for the Artemis II crew, and the newest James Webb Space Telescope JWST discoveries that are reshaping what we know about the universe. 1. Artemis II mission, the home stretch, April 2026. The 4-person crew, Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Koch, and Jeremy Hansen, is currently completing their historic 10-day journey. Mission status. As of April 9th, 2026, the crew is on flight day 9, stowing gear and preparing for the final re-entry into Earth's atmosphere. Record-breaking flyby. On April 6th, the crew officially became the farthest traveling humans in history, reaching a maximum distance of 252,756 miles, 406,771 kilometers from Earth. The return, the Orion spacecraft, is scheduled for splashdown in the Pacific Ocean near San Diego, California, tomorrow, Friday, April 10th at 8:07 p.m. EDT. Lunar sightings. During their flyby of the moon's far side, the crew spotted 6 brief flashes of light caused by meteorite impacts and identified 2 new craters they've proposed naming Integrity and Carol. The Planetary Society. 2. Cutting-edge discoveries. Our changing universe new observations from early 2026 are uncovering worlds more bizarre than anything we imagine. Diamond Rain and Lemon Planets. JWST recently characterized the atmosphere of PSR J2322265AV, a planet stretched into a lemon-like shape by the intense gravity of its pulsar star. It features a carbon-rich atmosphere where extreme pressure may cause diamonds to rain toward its core. Mustafar in real life. Astronomers identified L9859d, a planet 35 light-years away that contains a massive underground magma ocean. Its atmosphere smells like rotten eggs due to high levels of hydrogen sulfide and sulfur dioxide. The rare Inside-Out system. The LHS 1903 system was discovered to have a strange rocky gas-rocky planet order, challenging standard models of how solar systems form. 3. Stargazing alerts. Planets on parade. Several celestial events are visible this month. Mercury's visibility. Mercury reached its greatest elongation west on April 3rd. This makes this week one of the best times in 2026 to see it in the early morning sky before sunrise. Jupiter's brightness. Jupiter remains a bright object in the night sky. It is high in the constellation Gemini, making it easy to spot. Upcoming events. A rare blue moon. The 2nd full moon in a single month is expected in May 2026 on May 30th. As the Artemis II crew nears the end of their 10-day mission, here are the technical details and upcoming Mars mission schedules to round out your Astral Adventure video. 1. Scientific equipment and photography gear. The crew documented the lunar surface and their own health using a mix of state-of-the-art and time-tested equipment. Primary camera system. Surprisingly, the main camera for the mission is the Nikon D5 DSLR. Though released in 2016, it was chosen for its high ISO performance in low light and its proven resistance to cosmic radiation. Optics. The crew used an 8400mm telephoto lens to capture close-up details of craters like Vavilov and the South Pole Aitken Basin. They also utilized wide-angle lenses for interior cabin shots and star photography. Health sensors, Archer study. Astronauts wore biometric wristbands that looked like consumer fitness trackers. These monitors sleep, heart rate, and cognitive function to study how deep space isolation affects teamwork and performance. Avatar experiment. This organ-on-a-chip study uses bone marrow tissue analogs the size of a USB drive to test how radiation in deep space affects the human immune system. 2026 Mars mission schedule. The year 2026 is a Mars window year, meaning Earth and Mars are aligned for shorter travel times, leading to several major launches. Mission agency, company expected launch, goal Starship Mars test, SpaceX, late 2026, first uncrewed landing of a Starship on Mars. Escapade NASA, November 2026, twin spacecraft to study how the solar wind strips away the Martian atmosphere. MMX, Martian moons exploration. JAXA, Japan, NAV, DEC 2026, a sample return mission to the moon, Phobos, and a flyby of Deimos. 3. Updated YouTube description and tags. Add these to your previous description. Go behind the scenes with the gear making history. From the Nikon D5 cameras used to film the lunar far side to the Archer health studies tracking the crew's every move, we look at the tech powering the Artemis II mission. Plus, find out which Mars missions are launching later this year, including SpaceX's Starship and NASA's Escapade. The Artemis II mission is in its final phase, with the Orion spacecraft currently on flight day 9. The crew is preparing for their historic return to Earth tomorrow, concluding a 10-day journey that saw them travel farther into deep space than any humans in history. Mission status and splashdown schedule. The crew is currently packing up and prepping the cabin for the high-speed re-entry scheduled for tomorrow. Splashdown date, Friday, April 10th, 2026. Time, approximately 8:07 p.m. EDT. 5:07 p.m. PDT. Location, the Pacific Ocean off the coast of San Diego, California. Live coverage, NASA's official broadcast begins at 6:30 p.m. EDT on the NASA Plus streaming service and YouTube. The recovery process, NASA and the U.S. Navy have coordinated a complex open water recovery operation involving the USS John P. Murtha LPD-26. Re-entry and landing. Orion will hit the atmosphere at roughly $25,000 MEPO, protected by its heat shield from temperatures reaching 3,000 degrees. A series of parachutes will slow the capsule to about 20 metapeyos for splashdown. Stabilization. Once in the water, 5 orange airbags will inflate to keep the capsule upright. Navy divers will attach a stabilizing collar and install an inflatable platform called the front porch. Crew extraction. The 4 astronauts will exit onto the front porch and be hoisted by MH-60 Seahawk helicopters to the recovery ship. They are expected to reach the ship's medical bay within 2 hours of splashdown. Capsule retrieval. The USS John P. Murtha will lower its rear well gate, flooding the deck so the Orion capsule can be floated directly into the ship. Recent mission highlights moon observations. The crew spotted 6 flashes from meteorite impacts on the lunar far side and proposed naming 2 new craters, Integrity, after the spacecraft, and Carol, after Commander Reed Wiseman's late wife. Record-breaking. On April 6th, the crew reached a distance of 756 miles from Earth, surpassing the record set by the Apollo 13 crew as the Artemis II mission enters its final 24 hours. The crew of the Orion spacecraft, Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Koch, and Jeremy Hansen, is currently executing a strict schedule to ensure a safe return. Final mission checklist, flight day 9 and 10. The crew is focused on cabin stowage, ensuring no loose items become hazards during the high G forces of re-entry. April 9th, flight day 9. stowing equipment, securing heavy items including the flywheel exercise equipment, re-entry studies, reviewing flight manuals and entry procedures with mission control, trajectory correction, final minor engine burns to ensure the spacecraft hits the entry corridor at the precise angle, system checks, testing backup waste systems and emergency communication links. April 10th, splashdown day, 1:50 p.m. ET. Final cabin configuration for re-entry begins. Donning suits, crew transitions into their Orion crew survival system suits and orthostatic intolerance garments. 7:33 p.m. ET. Separation of the crew module from the service module. 8:07 p.m. ET. Scheduled splashdown in the Pacific Ocean. Post-splashdown medical evaluation. Because the astronauts have spent 10 days in microgravity, their bodies must readapt to Earth's 1G environment. Immediate assessment. Once recovered by U.S. Navy MH-60 Seahawk helicopters and delivered to the USS John P. Murtha, the crew will go directly to the ship's medical bay. Orthostatic testing. Doctors will check for orthostatic intolerance, dizziness or fainting caused by blood pooling in the lower body upon standing. Physical reconditioning. The crew will be monitored for balance issues, inner ear recalibration, motion sickness, and overall cardiovascular health. Quarantine observation. While not a strict lunar quarantine like the Apollo missions, the crew will stay aboard the ship for 24 hours for observation before flying to NASA Johnson Space Center in Houston.